Welcome to LAUTECH Open and Distance Learning Center. I'll be taking you through SS6 Petroleum Accounting, Study Section 6, the nature of extractive industries. The extractive industries is responsible for providing the raw materials that make it possible for you to survive and enjoy your everyday life. Essentially, the extractive industry is concerned with the physical extraction of metal, mineral, and aggregate from the earth. The extractive industry is made up of the mining, quarrying, and dredging. Learning outcome for study section 6. On completion of this study section, you should be able to describe the nature of extractive industry. You should be able to explain the pre-production phase and treatment of pre-production cost. And of course, you should be able to enumerate types of reserve of oil and gas. Extractive industry. The extractive industry consists of any form that remove metals, mineral, and aggregates from the earth. Examples of extractive processes include oil and gas extraction, mining, dredging, and quarrying. Now, mining can be defined as the extraction of metals and solid fossil fuel, and extraction can take place in either an underground mine or in an above ground mine known as surface mine, open cast mine, open pit, or just pit. Quarrying can be defined as the extraction of aggregate and industrial mineral above ground, while dredging can be defined as the extraction of marine aggregate underwater. Oil extraction can be defined as the extraction of liquid fossil fuel, and gas extraction can be defined as the extraction of gaseous fossil fuel. Pre-production phase and treatment of production cost. The pre-production is the operation that brings hydrocarbons to the surface and prepare them for processing. Now, production begins after the well is drained. The mixture of oil, gas, and water from the well is separated on the surface. Now, the pre-production phase in the oil and gas industry is as follows. 1. Completing the well, tubbing and packers, subphase safety valve, multiple completions, wellhead, starting the flow, drive mechanisms, artificial lift, enhanced recovery techniques, then offshore operations. All these are pre-production phase. Now, the classification of reserves. Oil and gas reserve may be classified into primary, secondary, and tertiary reserves. Now, let's consider the primary classification. The primary reserves are reserves that are recoverable using any method possible, where the oil and gas enters the wellbore by the action of the natural reservoir pressure. That is what we call BHP. Primary reserve may be classified based on degree of proof, that is comprising of proved, probable, and possible reserves. Now, proved reserve is further subdivided to proved developed and proved undeveloped reserves. The proved developed oil and gas reserves are reserves that can be recovered through existing well with existing equipment and operating methods, while proved underdeveloped reserves are oil and gas reserves that are expected to be recovered from oil well on drilled acreage or from existing well where relatively major expenditure is required for completion. So probable reserves are essential quantity of commercial recoverable oil and gas reserve that may be estimated or indicated to exist based on geological, geophysical, and engineering data. So possible reserves are estimated quantities of commercially recoverable oil and gas reserve that are less well defined than probable reserves and that may be estimated or inferred legally on the basis of geological and geophysical evidence. Number 2, development status comprising of developed and underdeveloped reserves. And number 3, we are looking at the production status, that is comprising of producing and non-producing reserves. So, however, the secondary and tertiary reserves are reserves that are recoverable through secondary and tertiary recoverable method involving injection project and thermal processes. We have come to the end of this study section. Thank you for listening. See you in the next class.